Saturday, 1st of February 2025, and we're continuing our Ramananda Samvada, and we've reached the questions and answers. Very powerful truths are being delivered. So we'll sing a kirtan first, this Radhika Charana Renu. And I'd like to read the translation first. It's by Narottam Das Thakur. So he's saying, decorate your body with the dust of Srimati Radhika's lotus feet, and you will easily attain Giridhari. One who takes shelter of Radhika's lotus feet is a great personality, and I heartily glorify such a soul. All glories to the name of Radha, whose abode is Vrindavan. She is the repository of loving pastimes that bring happiness to Sri Krishna. If my ears do not hear the narrations of Radha's glories, then destiny has cheated me. One who always engages in love-filled discussions of her ras-laden pastimes with her devotees attains Jnanisham. One who is averse to this will never attain perfection. Let me not even hear the name of such a person. O brother, by chanting Krishna's name, one attains the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, and by chanting Radha's name, one attains Sri Krishna Chandra. I have briefly spoken advice by which you may dispel the sufferings of your heart. Contradictory words will only lead to pain and sorrow. Radhika Charana Renu Bhushana Koriya Tanu. Radhika Charana Renu Bhushana Koriya Tanu. Aneyase Pape Giridhari. Aneyase Pape Giridhari. Radhika Charana Shraya Jekare se Mahashaya. Radhika Charana Shraya Jekare se Mahashaya. Chandre mui jao bolihari. Chandre mui jao bolihari. Chandre mui jao bolihari. Chandre mui jao bolihari. Jaya Jaya Radhanam Vrindavana Janradam. Jaya Jaya Radhanam Vrindavana Janradam. Krishna Sukha Vilasera Nidhi. Krishna Sukha Vilasera Nidhi. Eno Radha Gunagana Natulilo Morakana. Eno Radha Gunagana Nasunilo Morakana. Vanchita Korilo Moravidi. Vanchita Korilo Moravidi. Vanchita Korilo Moravidi. Vanchita Korilo Moravidi. Chandra Bhakta Sange Sada Rasa Lila Prema Katha. Chandra Bhakta Sange Sada Rasa Lila Prema Katha. Je kore se pae Ganeshyama. Je kore se
पाए श्यामा ihate vimuka jai tare kabusidanai ihate vimuka jai tare kabusidhinai nahi jeno suni taranama nahi jeno suni taranama nahi jeno suni taranama nahi jeno suni taranama Krishna nama gane bai Radhika charana pai Krishna nama gane pai Radhika charana pai Radha name gane Krishna Chandra Radha name gane Krishna Chandra Sankshipe ki una katha Ucheyo manera vyatha Sankshipe una katha Ucheyo manera vyatha Dukkhamoi anya kata dvanva Dukkhamoi anya Dukkhamaya anya katadvanda Dukkhamaya anya katadvanda Radhika charana reno bhushana kariyatano Radhika charana reno bhushana kariyatano Anayase pabe giri hari Anayase pabe giri hari Radhika charana shraya jekare se mahashaya Radhika charana shraya jekare se mahashaya Anramui jao bolihari Anramui jao bolihari Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe O Radhe 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Jaya Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Vinod Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Jaya Vishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe Vishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe Jaya Vishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe Vishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe O Radhe 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 Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Ganhavika Giri Hari Radha Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Rishabhanu Nandini Vajeshwari Radharani Ki Jai Nityananda Rai Ki Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astota Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astota Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astota Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astota Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaura Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Vaishnav Sabhavama Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Vedanta Acharya Ki Jai Srila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamanand Prabhu Treya Ki Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Paradasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai Arupa Nuka Guru Varga Ki Jai Swarup Damodar Raya Ramananda Gauda Parasad Ki Jai Namacharya Shilharadas Thakur Ki Jai Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Gauda Premanandi Hari Hari Bol Om Agina Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Jina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Priya Surupe Tayata Surupe Prema Surupe Sahaja Virupe Nijana Rupe Prabhu Eka Rupe Tatana Rupe Swabila Surupe Anapita Chirim Chirat Kuranavartinokalo Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Svabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dutikatam Vasatipita Sada Hridare Kandare Spuratu Vasachinandanaha Yam Prabhajantamana Petyam Apeti Krityam Dvaipaino Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putreti Tam Mayatayo Tarava Binidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanatoshmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptascha Karmadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charanarabindam Bhajami Radam Aravinda Netram Smarami Radam Madhurashmitasyam Vadami Radam Karuna Bharatram Tato Mamanasti Katina Kapi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvayevina Iti Vignaya Rate Tvam Naimam Charantikam. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions and millions of times unto the lotus feet of our beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And again, I'm offering millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of our dearmost Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad, and all our Rupanuga Guru Varga, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vanshakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhavayavacha, Patitanam Pavanibhyo, Vaishnaveya Namo Namaha. So, we've reached the questions and answers today. We've come through all the different steps and stages from Vanashram Nishkarm Karma Yoga, Sharanagat, Gyan, Mishra Bhakti, Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Did I miss one out? And then we come to Prema Bhakti, but it's in Shantaras, and then Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, or Kantak Prem. And then Radha's love for Krishna, which is the principal potency, the principal power, Shakti. Shakti means power, potency, so it's the power of love is manifesting from Radhika, and Krishna is the recipient of that. And then we have Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, then Prem Tattva, then Vilas, Vivart Tattva, Prem Vilas, Vivart Tattva. And then we have Sakhi Bhav, we have the understanding of what is the path, the glories of the Sakhis. This is such an important chapter. The glories of the Sakhis, understanding that we are in Anugatya. We cannot begin to enter Braj without the mercy of the Sakhis. The Sakhis are the extensions of Srimati Radhika. They're her merciful extensions, and they appear in this world as the Manjaris in our line. And there's so many other Sakhis also that appear in this world. Swarup Damodar, Lalita Sakhi, Raya Ramananda himself, Vishaka Sakhi. So these personalities are appearing to benedict us with the mercy of getting a glimpse into the immense love that Sri Radha has for Krishna. In this Prem Vivart Vilas, we hear how Radhika is running to a tamal tree to embrace it. Krishna is astonished. How high is Krishna's love? So this is what we're hearing. And the more we hear this, the more we meditate, contemplate on these topics, then the closer we can come to this Braja Prem, this Braja Ras, that Mahaprabhu has given us the passport, especially through such a rasic personality as Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. He's literally giving us entrance into these pastimes. I want to be a Palyadasti of Srimati Radhika. This is what he made us repeat countless times. So perhaps not in this birth or the next birth or the next birth, but I'm setting my focus, my compass to achieve that sadhya. If the sadhya is absolutely crystal clear, then everything else will fall into sync. So the sadhya, this is what this whole Ramananda Raya Samvada is demonstrating, is giving us. It's giving us the sadhya. And now we're coming into the abhidaya, how to attain the sadhya. So we know the verse, Kriti sadhya, bhavet sadhya bhavsa sadhanabhida, nitya siddhyasya bhavasya, prakatamriti sadhyate. So we have the potentiality to achieve this bhav bhakti. We've said many times, if our sadhana is not being focused on bhav, then our sadhana is like zero. So this bhav is having a mood for the sadhya, knowing what is the sadhya. The sadhya is prem. What type of prem? The prem of the Sakhis of Braj, to serve them, to serve Lalita Vishaka, etc. So now we've come to page 221 in our Ramananda Raya Samvada book, and we're going to hear what is the greatest song. Okay.
249. Gana madhye kon gan jivera nija dharma Radha Krishnera prema keli ye gitera marma.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, among many songs, which one is the natural activity of the living entity? Sri Ramananda Roy replied, songs that describe Sri Radha and Krishna's love-filled pastimes, Prem Keli Lila, are the vital core of all. So that bhajan we just sung is not explicitly describing their pastimes, but it's describing the urgency and the need to hear these pastimes, to enter into this Braja Prem. So without intrinsic dharma, nothing can exist.
Without the intrinsic dharma of the soul cannot exist. The dharma of the soul is to love. That is its dharma, to serve the Supreme. Every question asked by Sriman Mahaprabhu referred to the soul. He never inquired using the words human beings or mankind. For the benefit of the jivas, Sriman Mahaprabhu asked about duties pertaining to the intrinsic activity, Swarup Dharma of the jiva, the internal dharma of the jiva. Therefore, it is the constitutional position of the living being to perform Sankirtan, or congregational chanting of the loving pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Owing to the great ecstasy of prem inherent within their amorous pastimes, simply hearing such songs creates an awakening within one's eternal consciousness. Thus, a song that intrinsically consists of such glorification is the real essence of all songs. Those songs that are found in Srimad Bhagavatam, such as Venu Geet, Gopi Geet, Brahmara Geet, Yugal Geet, Pranaya Geet also, are classified as being Swarup Dham, or the constitutional function of the spirit soul. Samaveda is the body of prayers that are also accepted as songs. By nature, the jiva is the eternal servant of Sri Krishna. It is therefore his factual religion to sing about the pastimes of his worshipful deity.
Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astitaha bhajate tadrishi krida yashrutva tatparo bhave.
So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-36. This is spoken at the end of the Rasa Panchadiya. Parikshit, he's inquired from Krishna about the why has Krishna performed such audacious acts as to dance with other men's wives. And Sukadeva Goswami begins to answer in this way. In order to bestow his mercy upon the jivas, Sri Bhagavan manifests his human-like form and performs such pastimes that induce anyone who hears them to become devoted to him. The living beings, now dedicated to the Lord, become ecstatic in prem and begin to sing of his pastimes. This is the process. The best of saints, Sri Shukadeva Goswami, has said that when Sri Krishna goes to the forest for cow grazing, he gets tired from walking so far. Using a friend's lap as a pillow, he falls asleep. Some friends massage his feet, while others fan him very slowly. To please him, while he rests happily, the animals and birds sing of his amorous pastimes with Sri Radha. So now, what is the most beneficial activity?
8250 Shreya Madhye Kon Shrey Jivera Hai Sar Krishna Bhakta Sangavina Shreya Nahi Ar.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, out of all beneficial activities, which is the most favorable for the living entities? Ramananda Rai replied, there is no pursuit more auspicious than to associate with Sri Krishna's devotees. This is the sum and substance also of Jaivadhamma. Constantly Jaivadhamma is mentioning this. Shreya means auspicious. The result of affiliating with Sri Krishna's devotees is that one is able to obtain Krishna Prem. Therefore, the association of these devotees is the ultimate form of good fortune. Having forgotten his Swarup as the eternal servant of Sri Krishna, the jiva instead becomes the servant of the illusory potency, Maya. And as he is ground upon the mortar of Maya, he suffers great misery. However, when the jiva gains the association of one of Sri Krishna's devotees by devotional activities, then he has performed unknowingly or even accidentally agyata sukriti. Then, under the shelter of those elevated devotees, he is gradually enabled to comprehend his state of opposition to Bhagavan, whereupon he abandons
sensual happiness and begins to internalize himself. The devotees of Sri Krishna are just like veritable touchstones which convert iron into gold, and they can transform the jivas who come in their association into touchstones as well.
Manye Bhagavata Sakshat Parshadan O Madhudvisaha Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam Pavanaya Charantihi.
Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-28. This is when Maharaj Nemi, he sees the Nava-yogendras. The king of Videha, Sri Nimi Maharaj, is saying to Sri Narad, the saint among the demigods, "My lord, I understand that you are indeed an eternal associate of Bhagavan, Madhusudan, because such eternal associates travel everywhere in order to purify the materialistic living entities." So in this chapter, we're introduced also to the Nava-yogendras, the 9 sons of Rishabdev, who took to the practice of yoga. Okay.
Ata Atyantikam Kshemam Prichamo Bhavato Gnaha Samsaresmin Kshanadropi Satsanga Sevadhir Nrinam.
O great souls who purify the 3 worlds, Nimi is asking these Nava-yogendras, I ask you, what is the swarup or nature of supreme auspiciousness? And what is the sadhan to attain that? In this world, even half a moment's association with a devotee is the cause of supreme good fortune for mankind. That window has to just open a fraction by the mercy and power of the Mahabhagavat. And then that impression is going to open out all the deepest favorable sanskars and impressions to worship the Lord directly. That is how it happens. So the next heading is, why should a living entity remember, who should the living entity remember at every moment?
8:251 Kahara Smarana Jiva Karibe Anukshana Krishna Nam Guna Leela Pradana Smarana.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, whom should the jiva remember at every moment? Sri Ramananda Rai replied, the principal objects to keep in mind are Sri Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. So a commentary. In the first stage of sadhan, remembrance is done forcefully. But as the living being's oppositional stance towards Sri Krishna gradually diminishes, to that extent, the natural remembrance of Sri Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes take place. Ultimately, the devotee will not desire to discuss mundane topics, even for a second. It's described even in the stage of ruchi, there is some effort required to experience the higher taste. But in the stage of asakti, there's no effort. It's just flowing by itself, that natural, deep attachment, anurag, for Krishna wakens in the heart. That's at the stage of asakti. And then bhav, it just flows on from there. Dedicated to not wasting even 1 second of time. What is that? It's the stage of bhav, avyakta kalatvam. It's kala atvam, not wasting a moment of one's life. These 9 symptoms of bhav bhakti, avyakta kalatvam, viraktiya manasunyata, ashabandha samutkanta, namagana sadaruchi, ashaktis tatgunat kene, pritistis, vishate stale. These 9 symptoms of bhav. So from when this natural flow of attraction is coming at the stage of asakti, then bhav will make its appearance. He thus considers wasting a moment as being equivalent to universal devastation. This is how the gopis describe a moment of absence from Krishna. Yugayate ramishena chakshusam sunyayitam sunyayacham jagat sarvam
Govinda Viraheme, that the Mahaprabhu is saying in Shikshastikam, one moment is like devastating for them.
Tasmat sarvatmana rajan ari sarvatra sarvada srotavya kirtitavyascha smaratavyo bhagavan nrinam.
Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, verse 36. Therefore, O Parikshit, human beings always and in every circumstance with their complete energy should remember, glorify and hear about Bhagavan Sri Hari. So in this chapter, Shukadeva has made his appearance at the beginning of the 2nd canto, and now he's expressing this to Parikshit Maharaj. Sri Jiva Goswami, commentary, Sri Jiva Goswami in Sri Bhakti Sandarbha has described 5 types of smarana, or remembrance. They are smarana, to initially inquire just slightly about Sri Krishna. 2, dharana, to remember Sri Krishna to a limited extent. 3, dhyana, to experience a partial manifestation or catch a momentary vision of Sri Bhagavan in the heart, or to glimpse his form, dress, or ornaments. Drita Smriti, 4, to retain a fixed meditation upon Bhagavan. Fixed now, fixed. These are all stages, like we've been through in the whole, this Samvad, of steps, stages. So now here's another 5 stages to appreciate. And then number 5, Samadhi, to receive darshan or spurti of Bhagavan's leelas, which are filled with varieties of ras. Sri Krishna's name, form and pastimes are all of the same nature as Sri Krishna. Remembrance of Sri Krishna is the most important remembrance, and which is the foundation or root of the congregational chanting of the holy name.
Krishna Nama Krishna Guna Krishna Leela Vrinda Krishnera Swarupa Sama Sabha Chidananda.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 17, verse 135. The holy name of Sri Krishna, his transcendental qualities and pastimes, as well as the very Swarup of Sri Krishna, are all equal. They are Chid Ananda, or spiritual and full of bliss. Another question. What is the most important meditation?
8:252. Dheya Madhye Jivera Kartavya Kon Dhyana Radha Krishna Padambuja Dhyana Pradhana.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of all types of meditation, which one should the jiva engage in as his actual religious duty? Because there are so many indications of different meditations in the Shastra, so many. Shri Ramananda Rai replied, the most important meditation is to contemplate on the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. It doesn't just say Krishna, it says Radha and Krishna. There's a big distinction here, because Mahaprabhu is introducing practically the worship of Radha. Prior to Mahaprabhu, then Krishna was most glorified. Prior to that, even principally Lord Narayan. But with the advent of Mahaprabhu, he established the respectability of Sri Radhika's relationship with Krishna, particularly in Parakiya. This is Mahaprabhu's monumental contribution. This is why we are so melting in gratitude to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Commentary. The samadhi of the jnanis and yogis is nirvikalpa, a state in which the meditator, the object of meditation, and the act of meditation do not endure, since everything becomes shunya, or zero. Neither the realization nor the perceiver live on. Conversely, in the samadhi of the devotees, the meditator, the object of meditation, Sri Bhagavan, and the meditation process will continue. Meditating upon the divine pastimes of the Supreme Person, the devotee obtains spurti, or a vision, within the heart of them, and he actually sees his object of meditation. We were describing yesterday. It's unlimited, fathomless. This ocean is unlimited, fathomless. There's no end to it. It just increases and increases and increases. That's the nature of prema itself. ever increasing. So we should also assess, examine our bhajan, our progress. Is that becoming more invigorated, more inspiring, day by day by day? Is that moving forward? We were talking about this yesterday. The same dynamic is there for the practitioner. It's never ending. It's always opening to newer and newer horizons of wonderment.
तस्माद् एकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येय पूज्यश्च नित्यदा.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1, 2, 14. Therefore, with a one-pointed mind, one should constantly hear about, chant, meditate upon, and worship Bhagavan, who is very affectionate to his devotees. We need this reassurance from Shastra on our path, just how affectionate Krishna is to his sincere devotees who are desirous to reawaken their constant affection and service to his lotus feet. This requires practice. It requires dedication, sincerity, enthusiasm, daily. It has to be constant to be realized. So next, where should one reside?
8:253 सर्वत्यजी जीवेर कर्तव्य कहाँ वास श्री वृंदावन भूमि यहाँ नित्य लीला रास.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, where should the jiva reside, abandoning everything? Sri Ramananda Rai replied, one should live in Brajabhumi, Sri Vrindavan, where the Rasa Leela is eternally performed. It's in the atmosphere of Vrindavan itself. In Vrindavan, the nature of the atmosphere is conducive to moving ahead towards seva, to Sri Radhika's lotus feet. It's there. Everyone is saying, Radhe, 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 Radhe. That's the atmosphere, that's the mood of the whole of Braj. So commentary. Among the diverse pastimes of Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Krishna, the Ras Leela festival reigns as the crest jewel of all. This is the crest jewel of all Krishna's pastimes. Every other pastime is contained within this Ras Leela, just like every pastime is contained within the chanting of the holy name. It is all there, compressed within the holy name, which occurred in the supreme abode of Sri Vrindavan. Whoever possesses the single-minded greed to attain Braja Prem should reside only in Sri Vrindavan. Sri Ramananda Rai's precise meaning is that one should live in Vrindavan, which is manifest here on earth, and which is special as it provides the setting for the extraordinary Ras Leela. There are three principal manifestations of Sri Vrindavan Dham: Aprakat, Prakat, and Drishtaman. Aprakat, the supreme abode, Sri Goloka Dham, which exists eternally and which is entirely beyond the material elements. Aprakat. And Prakat, everything that accompanies the Lord's appearance in this world, because Bhagavan performs his manifest pastimes here in this world. The material nature is involved in his pastimes. So Prakat, Bhauma Vrindavan, earthly Vrindavan. And then Drishyaman, that which is within the common sensual jurisdiction of general people. So now we have a beautiful description of this. This Uddhav is being considered here as a general person. He's a Jnani Bhakta. He sees Krishna with full Aishwarya Bhav as being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but his heart and soul is in service to the Braja Ramanis. This is this verse. Go ahead.
Asam aho charana renu jusham aham syam vrindavane kimapi gulma latau sadinam ya dushyajam swajanam aryapatam chahitva bejur mukunda padavim srutibhir vim gyam.
This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 47, 61. This is the Brahmara Gita when Uddhav goes to Vrindavan and he's glorifying the gopis. Sri Uddhav is saying, the best thing that could possibly happen to me is that I take birth in this Vrindavan as a forest bush, creeper, herb, or even a medicinal root. Ah, if I could become one of these, then I would continuously be able to serve the foot dust from the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis. If I could bathe myself in their foot dust, then I would become most fortunate. How blessed are those gopis, just see. They have abandoned those things which are most difficult to give up, relations with their family members, and the restrictions imposed by society and seniors. They have obtained the lotus feet of Bhagavan, complete absorption in those feet, and the topmost love for him. What more can I say? Even the Shrutis, which are the Vedic instructions and emanate from the breathing of the Supreme Lord, are still searching for that same super excellent, love-laden form of Sri Krishna, but they cannot attain it. So this is our sadhan. This is our focus, which is what Mahaprabhu is opening out here with these questions and answers. What is the abhideya? So we've reached the prayojan, and now we know what is the sadhya, the anugatya of the gopis' lotus feet, and now how to attain that. And we're hearing Uddhav's heartfelt prayer just to be remaining in Braj as a bush or a herb or a forest creeper. So this is his enthusiasm, this is his utsaha to attain this goal. This greed is the quality of Rag Marg. Without that greed, we cannot break through the boundaries of this material constraint that we're surrounded by in this material illusion. Okay, what is the best topic to hear?
8 to 54. Shravana Madhye Jivera Kon Shreshta Shravana Radha Krishna Prema Keli Karna Rasayana.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, out of all topics to hear, which topic is the best for the living entity? Sriman Ramananda Rai replied, hearing about the amorous affairs of Radha and Krishna, which is like a medicinal tonic for the ears, Karna Rasayan, is the best of all. So anyone who thinks or condemns hearing Braj Katha or Lila Katha or the pastimes of Radha and Krishna described in the 10th canto, then they are misguided, foolish, and mostly greatly unfortunate. If they don't want to hear those topics, this is the conclusion, the goal. Their adhikar will be much less, of course. This is why they don't have a desire to hear these topics. So commentary. What to speak of the jivas? Even Rasik Shekhar Sri Krishna hears the songs describing his own loving affairs. After taking complete sannyas, Sri Bilvamangala Thakur was traveling towards Sri Vrindavan, singing about the sweet amorous pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Being unable to withhold himself, Sri Krishna began following behind him, listening to his singing. Eventually, those songs were compiled into a book by the same Sri Bilvamangala Thakur, entitled Sri Krishna Karanamrita, meaning that which pours nectar into the ears of Sri Krishna. The amorous affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are compared to the most vital rasayan, life-restoring tonic. Shravan, or hearing, is of two types, Vichar Pradhan and Ruchi Pradhan. In Vichar Pradhan, the hearer is full of doubts, just like Arjun. In Ruchi Pradhan, the hearer has no doubts in the statements of the scriptures, and he hears the descriptions of the qualities of the Lord with great relish. Sri Narad is an example of this. It is also written. So this Vichar Pradhan. Vichar means analysis or deliberation. This is like Vaidhi Bhakti, questioning, hesitation. Whereas Rag, Ruchi, is full-blown, attentive, faithful hearing. So now this verse comes at the very end of the Rasa Panchadi. It's the last verse in the Rasa Panchadi after we heard 5 chapters coming through from the gopis running to the forest, and then Pranaya Geet, and then the gopis searching for Krishna after Krishna has left, and then them discovering Sri Radhika, then the Gopi Geet. Then there's a chapter on the reunion, and then there's the full-blown Rasa Leela chapter itself, chapter 33. So this is the final verse in the whole Rasa Panchadiya.
Vikrididam vrajavadubhir idam cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito nushruniyad ata varnayedyaha Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridrogam as apahinato achirena dhiraha.
So Bhagavatam 10:33-40. O Parikshit, a grave person who faithfully and continuously hears the narrations of the transcendental pastimes that Bhagavan Sri Krishna performed with the young girls of Braj, and then describes those pastimes accordingly, achieves supreme devotion for the lotus feet of Bhagavan. He very quickly attains freedom from the diseases of the heart, which are the transformations of lust, this kridrogam, diseases of the heart. So, what is the most worshipable object?
8:55 Upashrera madhye kon upasya pradhan Shrestha upasya yugala Radha Krishna nam.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, among all worshipable objects, which is the best? Sri Ramananda Rai replied, the holy names of Sri Radha and Krishna are the chief worshipable object. Now, commentary, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami has said,
Radheti nama navasundara gita mugdam Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gada rupam Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam Kritva tadeva piba me rasane kshudharte.
This is from Abhista Sucharna, text 10. The name Radha is just like fresh, pleasing nectar that enchants the mind, and the name Krishna is like astonishing, sweet, and thick condensed milk. O tongue, tortured by lust, mix the two together, add the fragrant ice of anurag, and continuously drink this superb beverage. What an elixir. Shri Narottam Das Thakur also says, Radha Krishna Namagana Aise Parama Dhyan Arana Kariha Paraman. The chanting of the holy names of Sri Radha and Krishna is the supreme meditation. Do not accept any other process as the goal. This is from Prem Bhakti Chandrika. So today we sang a very similar bhajan to this. Sri Krishna is the very source or root cause of all incarnations, Bhagavat Swarup, and his Hladini Shakti is Sri Radha. Among couples such as Sri Shiva Parvati, Sri Lakshmi Narayan, Sri Sita Ram, and Sri Rukmini Krishna, the name of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna, is indeed the ultimate object of worship for the jivas.
Etavan eva lokesmin pumsam dharma parasmrita bhakti yogo bhagavati tannamagrahanadibihi.
This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 6:3-22. This is when Yamaraj is speaking to the Yamadutas who have been astonished by the Vishnu Dutas, and he's in the court of his kingdom, and he's so happy to be able to hear and talk about devotional service. The supreme religious activity or duty for the jivas of this world is to attain devotional sentiments for the lotus feet of the Lord by methods such as chanting the holy names. By the way, if anyone's in touch with Facebook, somehow it's just not connecting. I don't know what that means. I can't reconnect it without ending the stream. So I'm just patiently waiting for it to come back on again. So I'm just going to keep... Oh, it's come back now. It's come back now. It's come back. Haribol, Facebook, we went dark for a while. I'll just repeat that because you missed. So the supreme religious activity or duty for the jivas of this world is to attain devotional sentiments for the lotus feet of the Lord by methods such as chanting the holy names. This is the principal method for, what's that, Kale dosha nidhi rajan asti hyeko mahanguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha parambrajet. That, O king, this Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, but there is one good quality, Mahan Guna, that is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So take this very seriously. Next question. What is the fate of those desiring liberation and those desiring sense gratification? So liberation and sense gratification are collectively the same. Go ahead.
8-56 Mukti bhukti vanche ye kaha duhar gati stavara deha deva deha eche avastiti.
Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, what is the fate of those who desire liberation or of those who desire sense gratification? Sri Ramananda Roy replied, those who desire liberation and those who desire sense gratification achieve the bodies of non-moving species and demigods respectively. So those who desire liberation will attain the bodies of non-moving species, and those who desire sense gratification will attain the bodies of demigods. Commentary. Those who perform pious activities in this world achieve the bodies of Indra, the king of heaven, or other demigods. Alternatively, they are born into a high-class human family, or those who perform inauspicious activities repeatedly take the bodies of non-moving species, such as trees, worms, insects, birds, and beasts. Those desirous of liberation who do not have any desire to enjoy materially, or in other words, those whose activities are bereft of consciousness and whose consciousness is like a sleep-like state, attain the bodies of non-moving species of life, while those who are dedicated to material enjoyment attain bodies appropriate for their desires by taking birth in the higher planets of demigods.
Muktaya prastravaya shastramuche mahamunihi gautamam tam vijanita yata vitta tataiva saha.
Those who merge in the undifferentiated Brahman, Sayuja Mukti, become unconscious like stones and achieve a state of spiritual inactivity, destruction. That's the condition of consciousness if we merge into that Brahmajyoti, Sayuja. And those who follow the theories of Gautam become liberated and achieve a similar state. So this is explaining about the bodies of non-moving species of life. They will attain a body like a stone in the Brahmajyoti because there's no sambandha, there's no relationship there. The following pertains to those who are possessed of desires for material enjoyment.
Ishtveha devata yajnai swarlokam jati yajnika bhunjita devavat tatra bhogan divyan nijarjitan.
Srimad Bhagavatam 11:10-23. One who worships the demigods upon receiving the results of his pious activities goes to the heavenly planets, where he enjoys just like a demigod.
Kvachit puman kvachit chastri kvachin no bhayam andadihi devo manushya stira yagva yata karma gunam bhavaha.
Bhagavatam 4:29-29. According to the work he has performed and the modes of nature he has acquired, the living entity takes birth sometimes as a human being, sometimes as a demigod, and sometimes as a bird, an animal, and so on. Blinded by ignorance, the jiva sometimes becomes a man, a woman, or sometimes a eunuch. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9:20-21, also it says,
Traividyamam somapa putapapa yajnair tishva swargatim prartayante te punyam asadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्य लोकम विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्मम अनुप्रपन्ना gata gatam kama kama labante.
those who are full of material desires and dedicated to fruitive activities mentioned in the three Vedas worship me and drink somaras, the remnants of yajna, and pray to ascend to heaven. By the result of their pious activities, they achieve the planet of Indra and enjoy the divine paraphernalia suitable for the demigods. After having enjoyed the vast expanses of the heavenly planets, when their stock of pious activities is exhausted, they again fall into this world of birth and death. Thus, persons who practice this sakam karma, or reward-orientated activity, as described in the three Vedas, are full of petty material desires, and they repeatedly wander in the cycle of birth and death. The observation has been made that in some books the words mukti bhukti have been substituted for the words mukti bhakti. I'll read that again. The observation has been made that in some books the word mukti bhukti have been substituted for the words mukti bhakti. It follows that those who desire bhakti at the time of perfection achieve the bodies of associates of Sri Krishna that are suitable to their moods and render loving service to him in concordance with their respective bhavs or feelings of servitude. Their attainment of this service to the Lord has been compared to attaining the body of demigods. As a result of gaining service to Sri Krishna and obtaining a body like that of a demigod, the word bhakti is sometimes used instead of bhukti. For just as the demigods have freedom to enjoy varieties of happiness, so too a devotee attaining an associate's body gets to taste an array of the most astonishing ras by participating in Krishna's pastimes. So the same happiness, or practically sensuous happiness or enjoyment, takes place when one engages in Krishna's activities. That bliss is of a very high degree, such a degree. Okay.
257 to 260. Arasagna kakachushe jnana nimba phale rasagna kokila kaya premamra mukule abhagiya jnani ashvadaye sukshajnan krishna premamritapan kare bhagyavan ye mata dui jana krishna kata rase nritya gita rodane haila ratri seshe दोहा निज निज कार्ये चलीला विहाने संध्या काले राय आशी मिलीला आराधिने.
Impersonalists, Brahmagyanis, who are devoid of knowledge of transcendental mellows, are like the crows that continue to eat the bitter and tasteless fruit of the neem tree, whereas those who enjoy the mellows of bhakti ras, rasiks, are like the cuckoos who taste the soft and fragrant buds of the mango prem.
The unfortunate empiric speculators, Gyanis, simply experience the happiness of dry and tasteless impersonal knowledge and consider themselves fortunate. However, those who are truly fortunate constantly drink the nectar of Krishna Prem. The Gyanis remain ignorant of the happiness of Bhakti Ras and merely desire to achieve the Sayuja Mukti of merging into Brahman, which is dry, niryas, devoid of attributes, and which has no taste, form, qualities, pastimes, or astonishing varieties of bliss, just zero, shunya. Thus they remain absorbed in the delusion of the supposed oneness of the jiva and Brahman, Brahma Aikya Gyan, which has no real existence at all. Being cheated of bhakti ras, they simply chew the fruits of the neem tree in the form of the four supposed Mahavakyas, or principal statements of the Vedas, by chanting Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So this is like the Sankaracharya was deluding the populace by pointing this goal of this Nirvishesh Brahm. And he converted the whole of India, this Advaitavad, and still the remnants are very, very strong there. People want to be, they imagine they can be happy in this Shantaras, without activities, without form, worshipping the impersonal form of the Lord, or just the impersonal aspect of the Lord. You say, Vedanti tat tattva vedas tattvam yagyanam advayam brahmati paramatmati bhagavan iti shabhyate. These are three aspects of Krishna, the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. But the Brahman and Paramatma are both like impersonal aspects, features of the Lord. But one does not lead to the other. If you merge in the Brahman, you will remain in the Brahman. If you realize Paramatma realization, you will stay in that realization like a yogi. You can't go from there to Bhagavan because you're completely satisfied in that place. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kanchati. No more material desires, no more hankering. Therefore, why would you desire anything else? So you just stay there. It's such a dangerous place to be, that place of liberation. And Paramatma feature of the yogis is also completely dangerous. You get some yogic potency, some power, and you realize Paramatma within all living entities, but you don't realize the personal form of Bhagavan. This is a most dangerous place to be. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said that this false knowledge is like the bitter fruit of the neem tree, which is very unpalatable and which is enjoyed by crow-like jivas who are quarrelsome and attached to false logic. Thus Prem is likened to the buds of a mango tree, whose taste is sweet, well-liked, and full of flavorful juice. The devotees of Sri Krishna who taste this are compared to cuckoos. They are fortunate, while the Gyanis are bereft of good fortune. In this way, Sriman Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai passed the full night relishing the ras of Krishna Katha, or topics of Krishna, and thus, as they chanted, danced, and wept, the night ended. The next morning, they departed to perform their respective duties. But in the evening, Sri Ramananda Rai returned to meet the Lord again and passed the whole night as before. So, practically, we've completed this staircase that Mahaprabhu has so generously bestowed upon the jivas. And these last chapters are so powerful and so important. These questions and answers constitute the gyan, the sadhan bhajan that the jiva must perform, the abhideya. It's conclusively pointing in the direction. What is knowledge? Knowledge of Krishna. What is remembrance? Remembrance of Krishna. What is the greatest song? The Mahamantra. So, what is the living entity to remember at every moment? Radha and Krishna's pastimes. It's saying over again and again and again and again. So in your study of this Ramananda Roy, take time to dwell in this questions and answers section. It's very, very potent. I know the whole time I've just been going through the whole of this Samvad very briefly. We've just been rolling very fast through. I practically not commented at all. I've just tried to let the text itself carry us to its conclusion. So, but if we have time in our own meditation, etc., we can unpack much more carefully these chapters, especially these questions and answers. They're very, very pertinent for our bhajan. So there's a final chapter called The Final Evening, and we'll discuss this probably on Tuesday, because tomorrow, Monday, is Vasant Panchami, and it's the appearance day of Raghunath Das Goswami, the disappearance, I think, of Vishnu Priya, the disappearance, I think, of, or appearance of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. It's Pundarik Vidyanidhi also, and it's also Vasant Panchami itself, and there's one other. Oh, I've said Pundarik?
Yes.
And there's one other also. There's 5. Anyway, on Monday, we'll be discussing that, and then on Tuesday, we'll resume this, and then on Wednesday next week, it's Advaita Saptami. So we'll be discussing Advaita Acharya. Then I think it's Thursday, we can come back to this. And no, Thursday and Friday, it's Madhavacharya and Ramanujacharya. Disappearance. So next week, it's packed with festivals. But we will find one day, I think Tuesday, and perhaps Thursday and Friday, just to complete walking through this Samvad. But please bear in mind that we've just briefly, very briefly gone through this. If we have a lot of time, we could sit for a whole year going through, especially these final chapters, this Prem Vilas Vivart, especially the Sadhya, unpacking it, especially Radha Tattva, Krishna Tattva, etc. And especially the Sadhya, the method of attainment, of worship of the gopis. This anugatya of the gopis is the principal jewel the conditioned jivas can take away from this. So, Raya Ramananda Samvada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya, Patitanam Pavnibhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Raya Ramananda Samvada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.